Hello again, and welcome to another edition of the 4Ps. This is episode 97, and happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate, whether you're waging the war on Christmas or you are reliving the battles of the Hanukkah Maccabee people, happy holidays. Now, this is also holiday party season, and a word of advice. That advice, if you are going to holiday parties, whether it's at your own company or others, enjoy yourselves, have a drink, but be smart. One drink, maybe two, that's it. If you're with colleagues, this is not the time to get wasted. Trust me, people remember, people notice, it can last and follow you for years. Just like all these people I'm about to name. Oh, I won't do that. You all know this, but I consume a lot of media. TV, books, podcasts, movies, blogs, streaming video, social posts, right? And with that and all that, I see lots of ads for pharma and drugs. And even though I am inching closer to the age where I'm actually going to need some of these drugs, I tune out. It's habit. Now, these drug commercials are so prosaic and uncreative that I have never, and never will, have any idea what these drugs are actually intended for. With a gun to my head, I could not tell you what Humira or Levitra or Celebrex or Lyrica, Avaptix, Pulminerva, what they treat. Do you actually know what any of them do? You probably didn't even realize I made those last two up. Now, I do know that they say, consult your doctor. But shouldn't my doctor know when to prescribe these things so that I don't have to? And the older we get, won't these just get harder to keep track of and understand anyway? So why are these ads allowed? Why are they happening? Am I alone in thinking this, or is everyone just totally numb to this entire thing? The biggest thing that happened in my profession, the marketing and advertising industry this week, it's always debatable. Sometimes it's metrics driven or insights driven. Sometimes it's creative, but Aviation Gin's follow-up to the Peloton ad by basically rescuing the woman in a sequel to the original controversial spot was really creative. Now, this speaks to the power of advertising, as well as a willingness to push the creative envelope, take chances, move quickly, act in ways where you kind of question things maybe a little bit later, but acting decisively. It also speaks to the importance of a good PR push behind good creative. So as brands, companies, agencies head into the end of the year and are renegotiating or finalizing some RFPs or maybe even some renewals for their retainers, leave money aside to act nimbly, to react, to even pre-act to things that are happening both in the industry as well as more broadly in culture. Culture moves pretty fast, and if you try and plan everything, having 3 campaigns next year, or 2 set promotions, I'm telling you, you're going to be left behind and ignored by consumers, by the industry, by everybody. So I was on a return flight from Chicago late last week, and I don't usually talk to my adjacent seatmate on, short flights, but when she popped open a deck on her laptop that said Uber B2B revenue growth planning, I made an exception and started talking to my neighbor, who also happened to be wearing a University of Michigan football sweatshirt. So clearly we had something in common. And what I found to be really interesting, especially on a day where Uber transparently revealed the fact that thousands of employees or drivers had committed some degree of assault, which any assault, by the way, is too many. The fact that they were transparent about it, I think, hopefully opens the door for more conversation, better training. So I at least laud Uber for being transparent about that. But what this woman does at Uber was something totally foreign to me. She manages all of the accounts for corporate Uber businesses. You can go on to Uber as an employee or as a company and actually aggregate and create all the rides for your company. And we talked a lot about company culture and how it's improving for them, but this is something that employees and HR managers and executives in finance can set up so everything is centrally managed anytime someone takes an Uber for work. You can aggregate all corporate cards, tag and log all expenses in one easily organizable way. It syncs with Concur or Zoho or whatever program you use. So I am signing us up today because while, yes, there was a brief period where I was not using Uber at all and only using Lyft for personal and social reasons, Uber's not a company that can be ignored. It's something we spend a lot of money on as a company, and hopefully now we can figure out how to do it in a way that's more efficient, economical, and easy. This is an historic and monumental time in the history of American government. For just the third time, the House of Representatives is voting to impeach a sitting president. And while the Senate seems unlikely to convict and remove Trump, and the political implications of this notwithstanding, let's not dismiss this as another political stunt. Unfortunately, many are and are turning it into just another thing that they can spin. Brush this aside as political, but this is not just politics as usual. The GOP will say that they have, meaning the Democrats, have wanted to impeach Trump since the 2016 election. And that might be true for some, but it wasn't until he actually and verifiably committed bribery and obstruction that they pursued this impeachment process. Many were opposed to doing it because of the severity, the beyond political nature of this. So make no mistake, congressional leaders were not pushing impeachment during or even after the Mueller investigation. So for them to do this now is significant. And for so many Republican representatives and senators to take such a glib and dishonest approach to this process further confirms how broken the American system of government is and how beyond repair our democracy might just be.